Oscar winner Javier Bardem is back on the big screen in one of this summer's most anticipated sports action blockbusters, F1. He stars as the owner of a Formula One racing team trying to get his old friend and colleague, played by Brad Pitt, back into the driver's seat. Take a look.
Well, you don't just walk off the street and pilot a rocket.
Yes, you can if you've done it before. That's the whole point. Louis Chiron was 57 years old when he won the Monaco Grand Prix.
Who was who?
Philippe Tancelang, 56 years
You
old.
just Googled these names, didn't you?
Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot.
Wow, Ruben, you are really selling this.
But I see a guy who makes teams better.
I see experience, I see know-how.
You're off your meds.
My rook is a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal. But he's young. You know what he lacks? Maturity. You plus him, boom. I got a team.
Please welcome Javier Bardem.
Wow, in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the middle. That's what we call the hot seat. But happy belated Father's Day.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You and your wife, Penelope Cruz, in case people don't know, have 2 kids, and they're just entering the teenage stage.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what's your favorite part of being a dad right now?
I guess every age is a different one, and I guess this one is about really accompanying them as much as you can and make them feel seen and heard and understood, and at the same time being able to give them the room they need. And don't get too personal. Don't make it too personal when they confront you, because it's something that they need to go through in order to find themselves.
Because they will confront you.
Of course, as we all did with our parents, didn't we?
I coincided with your little kids back then, like 10 years ago, and Penelope on a plane to Spain one time, and they were really well behaved. Are they well behaved now?
That's good to know. Yes, they are. They are. They are good people. They have a great heart, and that's what matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have to talk about F1 because I saw it last night and it is fantastic. It's just so good. I loved it. It's going to be the summer blockbuster, no question about it. You play Ruben Cervantes, the owner of a struggling F1 racing team, and it has all that action, fast cars. I felt like I was like in the race. You know, your heart's beating quickly when you're watching it. Now, it's also though about the friendship between these 2 men, Ruben and Sonny, played by Brad Pitt. Was it fun to sort of bring that relationship to life? Because you 2 seem to really have this wonderful rapport.
Yes, and funny enough, we didn't know each other. I mean, we met briefly years ago here and there, but we met basically on the table reading.
Oh, wow.
And we have, and we have to create this bromance. No, you say? I learned that word in the country. I love that word. I have lots of romance with my friends in Madrid, and it was easy because he's a great guy. I mean, he was acting, driving an F1 car for real, producing, working on the script. He was doing lots of things, and at the same time, he was so careful and so generous with everybody on the set, making sure that they all have their time to do the things properly and making sure that they all shine. And actually, he was also working on the script to make the other actors and actresses look better and better and better, not himself. He's very, very generous. And it happened quickly. We start to get fun with their relationship, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Yes, it did.
For being so different physically, like being me so handsome and she's so. I said that to him. I'm sorry, Brad. Sorry.
Well, you got to travel some incredible places while filming to different racetracks in Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, the UK. Did you guys do anything fun, get to take advantage of those destinations?
Well, just the fact of being in those racetracks for real with the real drivers, real cars. I mean, I'm not a huge Formula One fan myself. I become one, I guess, after knowing the insights and the amount of work it takes to put a driver and a car on the track. But it's very noisy. It's a very noisy sport.
Yes.
And I was like, I'll live in the trailer. I'll wait for you in the trailer. But things that we do once we went to see Bruce Springsteen together to Dublin. That was fun.
Yes.
And we ended up having a drink with Bono and Bruce Springsteen.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
And Brad.
Love to be a fly on the
And
wall.
I was there in the table pretending to be cool about it. Yeah, another day in my life. I admire so much all of them for what they do and they represent. No?
I suspect they felt the same about you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Javier, and as you just mentioned, you grew up in Madrid.
Yes.
Que viva España.
Viva, viva. Nicaragua, no? Nicaragua.
Sí, de Nicaragua, nací en Nicaragua. And you began your acting career in Spain when you were 6 years old. Now, you've done so many excellent movies in Spanish and in English, and sometimes you've done them in both, including No Country for Old Men, for which you won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So good. Does it feel different to you, though, whether you're doing it in English or Spanish? By it, I mean the movie.
Yeah. I feel more constrained in English because I feel like, as you can see, as you can hear, it's hard for me to be more free and more acute in what I say and how I say it. So it's always a matter of more work and more effort put into a script that is in English than in Spanish.
Me too. I have the same problem. I'm just trying to get it out of my mouth. It's hard. It's hard. I feel for you, baby.
Well, Anna referred to you being in so many incredible films like No Country for Old Men, Vicky Cristina Barcelona,
I love
the live action The Little Mermaid, Dune. You were ridiculous in Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. You're widely considered to have played the best Bond villain ever
That's true.
in Skyfall. So with all of that said,
Oh, wait, and Desi Arnaz. You
Desi
were
Arnaz.
terrific.
Desi, I
You were
forgot.
terrific,
Yes.
Desi Arnaz.
oh my gosh, you starts to all, yeah. What do you remember about filming the Bond movie?
Many things, but one thing for sure is one day that I was shooting a scene that I was in a crystal glass cell, and then I was having a scene with Judi Dench playing them, and then Daniel was looking at me, and then I forgot my lines. Sam Mendes said, "What's going on?" Javier said, "Well, I just realized in this very moment that I'm in a James Bond movie." Amy's looking at me, and Daniel Craig is really intense, looking at me like, and I'm the villain. What the hell happened? So it took me a while to get on track again. Like, man, it's one of those dreams come true. Like, because I saw those movies with my father when I was 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, and then all of a sudden, what am I doing here? Crazy.
And Javier, you have been a long-time activist. You're not just an actor and a pretty face. You are an activist.
Thank you
and
for the pretty face.
I've seen you.
Thank you. You've been way too generous for that.
I've actually seen you do it in English and in Spanish. That's another thing you've done in both languages for a variety of causes. And there's plenty of things to speak up about here in this country. We can't stop talking about immigration, as I'm sure you know.
Yes.
Our community is being hunted down.
Yes.
But there's so many things that are important to you. Why is it so important for you to use your voice?
I don't think it's about using the voice, which it is. It's about decency, to be decent as a human being, and to not forget your humanity, and also the right we have as citizens to really, as you were saying before, draw a line in the sand. So the politicians and those who are supposed to represent us know that we are the voice, and they have to hurt us. And basically what is going on in the world today is very much a lot of a deaf tone coming from them and not hearing what we have to say. For example, the situation in Gaza, which I see and of course they have to return those hostages, obviously. But the situation in Gaza is come to a term now where I cannot express the pain that I, along with many millions of people there, suffered on a daily basis watching those horrible images of children being murdered and starving to death, being absolutely blocked the aid of medicines, water, medical material,
Food.
Kids that have been amputated without anesthesia. People that yesterday they were shot, 25 people were shot while they were looking for humanitarian aid in what they call the Hunger Games. I mean, experts on international law, experts on international Amnesty International, international human rights, and some people that know what they're talking, and Holocaust survivors are calling a genocide for it. And if you ask me, I believe it's a genocide. Why is that? First of all, because the impunity that is taking Israel in doing these actions and the lack of action on any government, is of course the backup of the United States with all those weapons and the economics, and also the silence of Europe, is creating in a scenario where there's such an impunity that if we really don't do something about that, we are going towards what is happening now. And an absolute impunity on creating wars all over and creating so much pain that is going to affect so many people.
Yeah.
But also, and with this I will finish, the most important thing is to not lose the humanity and really denounce when we have to denounce and who we have to denounce.
Javier, come back. Javier's movie, F1, is in theaters in IMAX June 27th.